The sun was molten that day, pressing down on my back with the weight of 1,000 summers. The air hung heavy, clinging to my fur, and the ground beneath my paws was cracked and dry. Hunger had been my companion for days now, a gnawing presence that coiled itself around my ribs, whispering that I was getting thinner, weaker. Still, I had survived worse. A fox always does. I was wandering the edges of the vineyard when I saw them. The grapes. They were draped over the vine like jewels, clusters of deep, dark purple, their skins taut and glistening with the kind of softness that begged to be broken. My mouth watered at the sight of them. I could already imagine the burst of sweetness, the cool, juicy flesh quenching the dry ache in my throat. For a moment, I simply stared, caught by the perfection of them, as if they weren't fruit at all, but something holy, something stolen from the gods. I stepped closer, the grass brushing against my legs. They were higher than I expected, hanging just beyond reach, but not so high as to be impossible. Not for me. I was clever, I was quick, and I would have them. I crouched, my muscles coiling beneath me. The air was thick with the scent of earth and ripeness. I leapt, my body rising through the stillness, my jaws snapping toward the lowest cluster. For an instant, I thought I had them. I could almost feel their cool weight against my tongue. But then I fell. My paws hit the ground lightly, but the failure was heavier than I wanted to admit. I glanced up, and the grapes still swayed above me, mocking me, glinting in the sunlight like a secret I couldn't touch. I tried again. This time I ran, the wind streaming through my fur, pushing me forward. I sprang higher, stretching my neck, my teeth closing on empty air. The ground met me again, harder this time, though the pain was nothing compared to the anger blooming in my chest. My tail lashed behind me as I circled the vine, pacing, my eyes locked on the fruit, as if I could pull it down with my will alone. It wasn't the height that taunted me. It was the grapes themselves, perfect and unyielding, as though they knew I could never have them. One last time, I ran. One last time, I leapt. My heart hammered in my chest, my legs burned, and my jaws snapped closed just beneath the lowest vine. I fell to the ground, panting, my body spent. For a moment I stood there, staring up at them. They swayed gently in the breeze, untouched, untouchable. My hunger roared in me, louder now, more desperate. But beneath it was something colder, something bitter. "They're sour," I said aloud. The words came sharp and quick, spilling from my mouth like bile. Sour and not worth my trouble. I turned and walked away, my tail high, my steps sure. The words echoed in my head, bitter and strange, like a shield that didn't quite fit. But I wouldn't look back. I wouldn't give those grapes the satisfaction. By the time I reached the edge of the vineyard, the sweetness of them still lingered in the air, faint and cruel. I told myself I was better off, that they would never have been as good as they looked. I told myself that no fruit was worth that kind of effort. But as I slipped into the shadows of the trees, I felt the weight of the hunger still in my chest, and I wondered who I was trying to fool.